actually for. All states to allow.
That looks good. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Got a new brace. It's not as comfortable as the other one. I picked this up at Meijer. It's a grocery store here in town. But it'll do the job of just keeping my wrist from bending in the wrong direction, so I'm happy with it. I did get up and have a productive day. I thought that I was going to go out into the garage and start organizing all the tools I had received from my father-in-law. But that didn't happen. So my goal is to do that tomorrow. We'll get the tool situation figured out. If I can, it's like I've got the basement mostly organized. So if I can get the garage cleaned up and the shed before it snows, then I might be able to get some stuff done outdoors. I do have a fence post that I need to pull, but it is November, and I don't think it's going to happen until the springtime now. Oh, excuse me. Hey, God. Oh, my goodness. All right. But if I do get the energy to get that fence post replaced, I would like to get that done. The sooner the better, because we get ridiculous amounts of snow here, and while we get 70-mile-an-hour bursts of wind through our backyard, in between two streets, so like all along my neighbors and I, all along our, if this is my house and all my neighbors' houses, this is all our backyard, and then the street, this is all their backyard and their houses, we get just a ton of wind in this area between the houses. So I thought that that would finish off the fence post earlier this year. But it didn't, and the fence post is still standing, so now I'm worried about the snowfall knocking it over. of course, the instant I come downstairs, I start having allergy issues. I've been down here for at least the last 2 hours. Went upstairs, did some dishes. I was fine. The instant I come downstairs, or back downstairs, start sniveling. And it's not like there's no mold or anything in my basement, so I don't know what it is. It's clean. It's finished basement, so. But yeah, so hopefully tomorrow we'll get up, get whatever house cleaning I got to do done, and then get out in the garage. The main thing I want to get out in the garage is getting the saddlebags off my bike, getting my bike cleaned up, dusted off, and covered. And then I'm going to bring the saddlebags and the tool bag down here. That's a project I want to start soon. Actually, I want to start it soon. I probably won't start it for another month or two. It's something I want to get done over the winter so that it's ready to go whenever riding season starts next spring. But I want to have everything down here so that when I've got the energy, I can focus on that for a little bit. I just want to wrap the tops of the saddlebags in chainmail. Now, my toolkit on my Harley sits in front of my windshield because I put the Harley Boom audio speakers on it. And there wasn't enough room for the speakers and the toolkit. So I put it on the front of the windshield, and if you ride through any bugs or anything, it collects them all. So I don't know if I want to wrap that in chainmail or not. I think I should, just because it would look weird if I have saddlebags that are wrapped in chainmail or covered, the tops covered in chainmail, a leather and chainmail bib for the gas tank, and then just a plain leather toolkit. I don't know. I think I should cover everything. So we'll see. Does anyone have any plans for Veterans Day? We had an event at my kids' school last week. It was fun. All the military family members came to the school. And they say that they do it a week early because they know that veterans are busy on Veterans Day. I'm like, I don't do anything ever, so I ain't ever busy. So I was counting out the rings on this, and it's about 280 rings per side. So just to add a row, add a layer to it, it's about 300 rings. And to do that, you got to do it on 3 sides to expand it out all at the same time. Which means that it's almost 900 rings. At the point where it's like I'm just going to work on this as time goes on. It's like I've got this small pile of rings that I'm working on, and then the rest of this bag. The rest of this bag isn't going to get me to the 11th layer all around, right? Or 11 rows of rings all the way around. So I'm going to have to, I'll finish off the bag and see where I'm at. And then eventually order some more. That's just going to have to be how it is. Because I don't have an end goal for how large I want to make this. but it's just gonna replace the rubber band ball on my over on the bar as a conversation starter, or for someone to pick up and look at, you know. So it's got to be at least as large as my rubber band ball, which is a little smaller than a small basketball. 7, maybe 8-inch diameter. Oh my goodness. Ridiculous. Let me get a drink of water. Let's see here. What is... There we go. But I'm hoping to get a lot of stuff done this winter. I've already gotten a ton of stuff done. See here. I picked up the goal of using up all the rings in my basement before ordering more quite a while ago. A couple years ago. And I started and stopped and started and stopped, and I got some stuff done, but I didn't use up half the rings I had. And since I've started in September's when I really picked up getting work done down here. I've gotten a ton of little projects done. So that's been nice. The mess is clearing up down here. I've still got some larger ring projects over there. Some scale mail that I need to work on, and then a bunch of belts and guitar straps that I want to make real nice. So if I can get all that done. The belts and the guitar straps, they're done. It's just I want to do some leather work to them to make them look more like a finished product. Right? To make them just look clean. They're a little rough around the edges. Like the way they connect to the belt buckle is odd. So I want to switch that up with a leather connection. But they're heavy, but they're functional. I mean, you make quite the statement when you're walking around with a metal belt. Don't go to the airport. I had one of my shirt projects in my duffel bag on the plane to wherever I was going to deploy out of from the States on my second deployment. And I dropped it off with the TSA scanner. I was in security, in line, waiting to go through, and I hear my name get called over the radio. And these two guys call me back to the x-ray machine. And they're like, "Sir, we're going to have to ask you to open up your duffel bag and pull out whatever this mysterious item is." And it's some rings and some pliers and, I don't know, maybe a third of a chainmail shirt I was working on. And they're like, why are you making that? So I said, well, the Army's not providing body armor anymore, so they're requiring us to make our own. They're like, really? It's like, no, it's just a project. I did get body armor. But it was a funny look on their faces that I got. And people always ask, can you fly with pliers and stuff? And I've never had an issue, but I also stopped flying many years ago. When was the last time I flew? I'd have to think about it for a bit. It's been a hot minute. But instead of flying, I rode my Harley out to Colorado 2 years ago to visit some friends. Instead of flying, when my dad was sick, I drove from Wisconsin to Idaho, and it's like I don't fly anymore. So I don't know if you can take pliers and rings on planes. But every time I see someone ask that question, most people say that they haven't had an issue. And there are guidelines from the TSA on what you can bring on. Personally, most domestic flights aren't worth trying to take a project on just because it's like, yeah, these are like $15, $20 pairs of pliers. But I'd rather not. I'd rather just check them, read a book while I'm on the flight. You love my work? What does material cost? That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head. So what I'm working with is bright aluminum from chainreaction.ca. Thank you for the follow. And these are 18 gauge 1/8 of an inch rings. But I have aluminum, stainless steel, titanium, sterling silver, niobium, all of those are, it's always cheaper to make your own rings, but things like the anodized niobium with these pretty colors on here, I can't make. Well, you can make this at home, but it requires like a $200 to $300 investment to be able to anodize this. And all of this is pretty old. These are new. These are bought within the last couple years. But most of the material that I have in the basement has been sitting here for quite a while. Hence why I'm working on it now. Getting through all these projects. And I don't well, I've got the receipts up there. It's not bank breaking, but it's not cheap. So, if you don't have a lot of money and you have time to hone your skill making rings, then by all means, please, look into making your own. I, however, have spent way too much time on different projects, making my own rings for them, only for the rings to come out really subpar. And it worked. I made rings, but they were crappy. And I used galvanized steel. And so I don't recommend making your own rings at first. I recommend buying a kit, buying some sample rings, stuff like that. So, but I was in the military, I didn't make a lot of money, and I was still able to afford rings, so it didn't break the bank. I did order a lot of random rings, so that kind of made things more expensive because I have some rings that there's no project for. And some rings that I ordered that were not the correct ring size for the project I had bought them for. But so that did add to the cost. But there are multiple ring manufacturers out there now, all with varying degrees of quality and cost associated with them. But so yeah. If I go, it's hyphen reaction, chain hyphen reaction I think that's their website. Bright aluminum, 18 gauge. For 1/8. I think it's $4 an ounce. How many rings do you get with an ounce? I don't see that listed. So I'd have to dig out a receipt to really tell you, but actually we can weigh this. Here. There's roughly, I don't know, 4,500 rings in this, 5,000 rings, something like that. 0. Okay. This is 6.9 ounces, right? At $4 an ounce. I'm assuming that's $4 an ounce. I don't see where it says otherwise. But, so $25 so far. And that's a total guess, so don't hold me to that. Just for that, just for the aluminum for this. Like, it's an educated guess, but it's still, it's not 100% correct. All right. What did I say, 6.8 ounces? 24, 25 bucks. 28, something like that. Hey, Jeep and Jamber, how you doing, buddy? You're not late? What did I just do? I screwed up something here. Excuse me. I went through the wrong ring. There we go. Alright. I'm doing okay. I've got my allergies acting up since I've been down here all day. The instant I turn on the stream, start sneezing for some reason. I don't know why. All right. So we are finishing up 10 layers in this thing. There's 280, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Something's not adding up in my head here. Calculator. 280 times 18. Yeah, okay, no, it's 5,000 rings. Okay. Your app is misbehaving. The Mailworks app? What's the Mailworks app doing? It can get sketchy when you're. It can get a bit sketchy when you're not on Wi-Fi, but you shouldn't be having serious issues, I hope. Like, if it's crashing, I'll know, because I can go and look that up on Google and Apple, but if it's not, if the signal is not great to it, then sometimes it can be problematic. And that's an Amazon thing. I don't know why it does that. I don't know why it can't just behave like other apps, but So layer 10, 5,000 rings. $25 in material so far, roughly. When you try to scroll, it goes a little bit. Then if you leave it untouched for a few seconds, it goes into some sort of sleep mode. Interesting. I haven't heard of that happening. Well, get with me offline. And I will try to remember. It scrolls a little, then stops. You're getting ahead of yourself. This, I mean, I don't know how often that happens. That might be happening to a lot of people. I haven't heard any complaints about it as of right now. So, like, is it an end user issue? Is it an app issue? Because last time I checked Google and Apple, I didn't have any crashes in there, so that doesn't mean that it's not doing other things. On my phone, it's been fine, but it's happened a few times. Okay. Well, I appreciate you letting me know. I don't know how much I can do about it, but I do know that Amazon Web Services can be a pain in the butt. Apple can be a pain in the butt. Google and Apple are pains in the butt. However, with that being said, some phone versions act differently than others, and I mean, if it stops scrolling and freezes on you, can you close the app and get back into it and have it work just fine? Or does it keep doing it over and over again? Yeah, if you can screen record it and you can send it to me, that would be helpful. I know that sometimes there's a section that is connected to my YouTube channel, and sometimes it pulls up old videos, and I don't even think my new videos are loading onto it, so I do have to look at that. But that's secondary to the next time I go into the app. I'm going to be adding some more artisans and ring manufacturers, and it's like if my videos don't show up in someone's app, I'm not worried about that as much as I am, building out a giant resource list for new and old chainmail artists alike. But that's weird. Should not be doing that. Alright, so last night we got, so each row has 2 layers. We're working on the 10th row, right? So there's 20 layers roughly, 19, 20 layers, something like that. And last night when we started working on the 10th row, it took us an hour and a half to do one side. So I was hoping it wouldn't take another hour and a half to finish the top of this, but when it's almost 300 rings for one row, so it takes quite a bit of time just building the whole thing out. That's okay, because the larger it gets, the more fun it is to play with. I'm sure there's what's the economic principle where if you eat like 50 Snickers bars in a row, at some point there's going to be a Snickers bar that you eat where you're not as satisfied with it as you were with the one before. So the larger this gets, I'm sure we'll reach a point where I won't be as satisfied with it if it were smaller. Does that make sense? So we'll make it as big until I don't get any gratification return on it. I don't remember what that economic principle is called. And that's going to bother me. Diminishing returns? The law of diminishing returns? Maybe that's what it's called. I think that's what it's called. You're never satisfied with Snickers? Do you just not like them, or you could just eat a bunch of them? Speaking of principles and thoughts, thought processes, I was talking with my son today. He asked me if I thought there was aliens, and I was like, no, I don't believe in aliens. Which is, you know, like a giant universe. We're the only ones in it that we know of. And I was trying to explain to a 9-year-old what the Fermi complex is. Oh, you don't like Snickers at all? Your wife likes them, but you're a Reese's guy. Okay. And the Fermi complex is this idea where we've sent out, you know, radio waves all across the galaxy and trying to reach someone, anyone. And theoretically, there should be another civilization out there that is as technologically advanced as we are and should be able to receive and return contact, right? So we're kind of in that area where we're just waiting to hear from someone to know whether or not there's life on other planets. And it's like, there's two reasons if there's not, right? Either we are alone in the universe and no one else is ever, you know, humans or life like us have never appeared anywhere else in the universe, or there were other civilizations out there that were as technologically advanced as us, but they destroyed themselves. So I was trying to explain that to him, and he's 9. And he kind of grasped it, but that was a fun one to go through with him. And he's like, or aliens could be out there and they aren't talking to us because they could be getting ready to destroy us. So yeah, that's another option too, bud. Set the screen recording to show when you touch the screen. Alright. Yeah, if you screen record it happening, just send me the video and I will take a look at it and see if I can figure out why it's pausing on you. So this was kind of nice to work on last night because it gave me I was actually really exhausted last night, and it gave me opportunity to stream and weave at the same time without having to think about what I was doing. And then I just wanted to finish up layer 10 tonight. And I don't know, like once I'm done with layer 10, I don't think I can get layer 11 out of this, or row 11. I don't think, but maybe. So I'll probably just work through all of these, but I probably won't do that on stream. I got plenty of projects that I can do on stream. We don't need to do jelly cubes all the time. They are a ton of fun though. All right. I have this overhead camera that if you're watching on TikTok you can't see, but I'm streaming on multiple channels, right? I have an overhead camera looking down on my work. And there is a fan in there or something that makes the most irritating whirring sound, right? I have no idea how to go about resolving it. Or I don't even know if I could, right? But I already have tinnitus from the military. I already can't hear. I've already got ringing in my ears. I don't need another source of ringing. You know? So, and it's right above my head. Like, it wouldn't be as bad if it was across the room. Alright, you couldn't get the app to do the sleep-like thing it was doing, but you got the scrolling issue? Alright. Well, there is an email on my website, right? You can email a screen recording there, and I will take a look. It's probably not something I'm going to be able to resolve this weekend, but definitely something I can look into, because, you know, things like that make people not want to use the app, and then it's like, gross. I don't want that. I want people to want to use it. It's there to be helpful, not a headache. Oh, wow. Okay, what else we get up to today? Listen to a couple podcasts. Played with the corgi. I need to make a video of him as my new social media manager. Yeah, send it to the info@mailworks.com. It should be fine. And if that doesn't work, then I can get with you offline with a different email address. And for those of you wondering what we're talking about, in the link tree in my bio, there's a link to Apple and to Google for the MailWorks app, which is a giant list of resources that I wish I would have had when I started making chainmail. And you can download that, and you've got ring manufacturers and where to find tutorials and different groups of people that like to make chainmail, and it's pretty generic. I try to include a broad range of the Chainmail community and the Chainmail universe. And we're going to be adding more to it as time goes on. Only group of people I haven't added are people with Etsy, Amazon, and eBay stores. Artists that have their own standalone website are the artists that are in there. I get a little bit of flack for that too. I think it's a good call because eBay, Amazon, and Etsy all have their own apps already. So if you host your store just on there, right, there's already an app, and it's not as it's clearly not Chainmail specific, but I don't know. The Mailworks app it's growing in popularity, but I don't expect to ever have download numbers like Etsy or eBay have. That'd be amazing. Alright, file is too large. I had to send a file that was too large this morning, and what did I do? I used an app to diminish the size of the video and sent it via email to my second cousin's teacher. My second cousin via marriage. And since I am a veteran, all of our family was asked to make a video of themselves, give your name, what branch you were in, how you're related to the student, and what respect means to you, right? So, but I made the video and then I couldn't send it. It's too large. And I used an app to reduce it from 18. What is the phone screens? What is the screen size? 18 what? Down to 720. Will this tell me? 1080. That's the number I'm looking for. 18. So I reduced it from 1080 down to 720, 1080p down to 720p, and I was able to send it that way. I don't know how it turned out though. It looked good on my end. I was actually asked to do it yesterday, and it was kind of last minute, and so father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate, exactly. But I got the video sent off, and hopefully the kid got credit for their work or for the video. I made you think of Spaceballs. That's good. I would like to remind everyone of Spaceballs. Spaceballs is a good show. Which reminds me of Mel Gibson. Mel Brooks. And other great movies. Like Dr. Franken. Dr. Frankenstein. But that's not the name of the show. With Gene Wilder and, what's his name? And what's the name of the show? Anyway. History of the World Part 1. Mel Brooks's, whatever the name of the Frankenstein movie is, I can't think of it right now. What huge knockers. Why, thank you. So if I'm making you think of that, then that's good. One of the things I struggle with is content creation in general. And I've definitely gotten better at it since I first started. Keeping my train of thought, telling a story from the beginning to end, you know. And you know, not getting on here and not being able to think of things to say, right? Like, I still have those issues, but some of that's never going to go away because I got hurt in the Army, and now I'm not as good as I once was, right? But with practice, I do okay. And here's an example of what I mean. I don't remember where I was going with that statement. Troubles with content creation. Getting better at it. Then I remind you of Mel Brooks movies and can't remember the name of Mel Brooks's Frankenstein movie. I remember all the lines. I go, what was the name of that case of the brain you gave me? Abby something. Abby normal. You gave me an abnormal brain? But I guess the point is that I wish that I was better at, like, the one thing I'm good at in the world is making chainmail, right? Like, I'm good at that. I'm not good at much else. So I get on here and I practice. And I talk and I tell stories and I try to entertain. There was a commenter, not on my page, on someone else's page. Someone had said something along the lines of, is the Pope Catholic? Young Frankenstein, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I've seen it on, in theater as a play production, as a musical production, right? And I've seen the movie 10,000 times. Anyway, what was I saying? My brain don't work too good. Oh no, what was I saying? Oh, is the Pope Catholic? So someone on a TikTok, the buffering is wild. Is that why things aren't working? Solo Gamer, thank you so much. Let me check something here. Flip camera. Excuse me. I don't know if this is going to work. You know why the buffering was wild? Because the internet wasn't on. I don't know why the Wi-Fi wasn't on my phone, but did that stop the show? Okay, let's see if we can get this going again. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Oh, I need to turn the dang camera around. Dang it, Bobby. Dang it, Bobby. Alright, thanks to anyone who sat through that. Apparently the Wi-Fi wasn't on my phone, and I'm streaming via 4G from my basement, which is not... I don't know, that doesn't seem smart to me. So, Solo Gamer has saved the stream. Thanks to anyone who sat through that. That's amazing of y'all. Alright, so someone mentions in their TikTok, is the Pope Catholic? And someone commented, when we were growing up, we always got, is the Pope Catholic? Does a bear poop in the woods? And I always grew up with, and I commented this, does the Pope poop in the woods? Is a bear Catholic? As the ever rhetorical response to any absurd question I asked as a child. And actually, later this evening, my son asked me a ridiculous question, and I responded with, does the Pope poop in the woods? And he said to me, what's a Pope? I'm like, oh my gosh, child. He didn't grow up with a Catholic grandma nearby. And so I guess that he does not know anything about the difference between a Protestant and a Catholic church. So I guess I'll have to learn him. All right. It's like I realize that it makes perfect sense that he doesn't know who or what the Pope is, right? Like, it's not unreasonable for him to not know. There's no reason the school he attends would teach him about the Pope. So, I just thought it was amusing. Like, it's like, who doesn't know who the Pope is? Or what the Pope is? My son, apparently. Alright, where are we at here? You got he sent his URL. It's coming from an email with your username. Alright, I'll take a look at it, man. See if I can figure out what's going on. I did just upload a new version to Google, and they approved it, so they didn't see anything wrong with it. But the Apple one's been fine as far as I know. The Apple version of the MailWorks app. So I don't know if that plays into what's going on, but I'll take a look, see if I can't figure it out. Where are we at here? It's Friday. Why are you guys in here hanging out with me? I do appreciate it. I always love it when people come hang out and chill. Especially on, like, a weekend. When they got their free time or whatever. So we're just hanging out making some chainmail. I've just been sitting here in my basement almost the whole day. You think it's temporary URL, so if you need to see it multiple times, save it. And if it doesn't work like it's expired, let you know and I'll send it again. Okay. Alright. We're almost done with this 10th row here. Trying to eyeball these rings left in this bag and gauge whether or not we can get the next row done. Trying to remember how full the bag was when I started, and it was pretty full. All right, Jeep and Jammer. Don't worry too much about it. I'll take a look at it, see if I can get it figured out when I get a chance. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that this weekend, but like I said, I mean, yeah, there's a comment area for people to ask questions in the Mailworks app, but it's not, you know, it's mostly just a resource for people to use. I definitely want it to work well for people. But this is the first issue I've heard about it, so I'll take a look and see what I can figure out. So we had one of the another chainmail artist in here last night who's working on a cube that is, I guess, at the end he's going to have something like 750,000 rings in it. It's just going to be this enormous cube that he's working on. He's already got a large portion of it done. So it's like I want to get rich and buy it off of him when he's done with it. I should just stop making this now and just wait for him to get his finished and then save up my pennies and buy his. 750,000 rings in one cube. It is mind-blowing. So I did a video on a chainmail tapestry with 400,000 rings in it, and that's ridiculously cool. There's a, what's the name of the weave? It's called Moorish Rose. Someone used the Moorish Rose weave to make a Van Gogh Starry Night inlay, and it's insane. It's a mind-blowing project, right? I'll do a video on that too eventually. And then those two projects, 400,000 ring tapestry, the Moorish Rose, Van Gogh, Starry Night, those are, like, if there was a 7 Wonders of the Chainmail world, they are definitely on the list. Right? And then a giant jelly cube with 750,000 rings in it, that too would be on the list. It's like the Colossus of Rhodes of chainmail. Fortunately, for a large jelly cube of that size with that many rings in it, it would survive an earthquake. It would be much more likely to survive an earthquake, as the Colossus of Rhodes did not, and that's why we can't see it today. Darn earthquakes and their statue-shattering, ground-breaking earth movement. I don't know what happened to the rest. What are the rest of the 7 wonders of the world? Right, Colossus of Rhodes, the pyramids of Egypt, the Hanging Gardens in Babylon, Solomon's Hanging Gardens. Nice, that's so cool. Thank you, Wolf. Thank you, Wolfpack. The jelly cube, and it's a lot of fun. And we're almost done with the 10th row. And this will, once I get this done, so I've got some black and stainless here that didn't work out for the project I bought it for. It looks like it would be, yeah. They're very tactile and fun to play with and hefty. This is aluminum, so it's not as hefty as a stainless steel one, but it's still pretty hefty. It's nice. Yeah, black and stainless steel rings here. Might work with those for a little bit. What else? I ordered all these for a earring project, and they didn't work out. So now I got to figure out something else to do with them. But they don't. Let me just show you. They don't. Where's my little bag of trinkets? I need to make like a little treasure chest and just fill it with all these little random decorations, things that I have. Alright, so this is my profile picture, my logo, it's a little Byzantine square, right? And it makes cute little earrings, right? That's what I was going to make out of all this black and stainless. Does not want to be held on to. So now I got to figure out what they will work out for. And I don't know. But will they work for a JPL chain? I'm going to go with no. Unless I did like kinged JPL or something. They're just a smidge too small. Oh, wow, almost closed that out. Oops. Wrong, it makes killer keychains, not earrings. What makes killer keychains, not earrings? Stainless steel? There's, what do you call it? Oh, my mini logo. My mini logo is good for a lot of decoration. You can use it as pendant, as an earring, as a part of a keychain. Lots of fun stuff. There was okay, so I was talking about Moorish Rose earlier, and this is a crazy, mind-blowing thing that someone has done. In the large Chainmail group on Facebook, they made a Moorish Rose cube. Now, I can't make Moorish Rose. I've tried. I either don't have the ring size or I didn't figure out the tutorial. I couldn't do it. I tried to do it on stream. I tried to do it off stream, and it just ended badly the whole time. So I will eventually take up that challenge again one day. Excuse me. But this guy is making Moorish Rose cubes. And that's another... They are hollow in the center, and I do believe you have to have some kind of sphere or ball bearing in there. And I want to take a look at that. Oh, excuse me. That would be another neat fidget toy to make. All right. Wow, yeah, WoW is right. Moorish Rose cubes is nuts. That's crazy to me. Usually I can look at a weave and see exactly how it works out, right? I spend enough time weaving rings together that when you look at something, some new method of how someone is doing something, seeing how they did it is pretty easy. But Moorish Rose has kicked my ass. So for someone to have mastered it and then also make cubes out of it, which is just like next level, I'm impressed for sure. It's like, I've only been doing this for 27 years, and I am by no means an expert, but I am pretty good, and I have made some pretty cool stuff. That's cool. Is the way you pick up on things too? Nice. But yeah, I've been doing this for quite a while, and I'm not by any means like the world's #1 chainmail artist or anything. I'm not, but I'm okay. I've done some pretty cool stuff with chainmail, and it doesn't take a lot to impress me. But it can't be too little, right? And Moorish Rose cubes are definitely a lot. So they're very impressive to me. Contestant #1, what is behind door #2? A shiny restart. Oh, haha. Restart the slideshow. There you go. I still haven't added the new pictures to the slideshow. That's a long time, and you do good work. Oh, thank you. It's getting better. We're adding more things to do and more skills to learn. Hopefully getting a machine I can use to anodize titanium for Christmas or immediately after Christmas if it's not under my Christmas tree. Thank you for the follow. So I will have one of those soon, and we'll clean, etch, and anodize this titanium cube and this dice bag. Right? Get those finished and out of the way and put them on my window ledge, which I'm not out of room, but it's getting crowded for sure. I've got 3 shirts and a vest on stands in front of the window ledge, and another 20 feet of window ledge. So I want to fill that up with shirts, and then the window ledge filled up with chainmail stuff. And I've got... I was talking last night about making a chainmail infinity box. I'm going to add that as a wall decoration. Just make it look like it's a hole with chainmail all down the sides and everything. I think it'd be really cool. I don't know if that'll happen this winter, but we'll see. What is the size you're expanding it to? Whenever I run out of rings, and then I'll order more, and then... How you doing, Mike? Right now I'm at 10 rows. A little over 5,000 rings. And that was the last ring for this row. I've only got this baggie left, so I don't think that'll get me 11 rows. You're tired? I'll bet, buddy. But for right now, it was at 9, now it's at 10. And we'll order some more rings and revisit. I'll probably throw these rings on off stream later. But, you know, we just spent the last hour and 15 finishing up that top row, and it's almost 300 rings per layer now. So it's getting very time consuming just to do one layer. But it's fun. I estimate that the rubber band ball that I'm that is falling apart, that I'm replacing with, is 7 to 8 inches in diameter, 6-7 inches, something like that. It's a good size rubber band ball, but it's falling apart, you know. So I'll, you know, expand it out to yay big. I don't know, just a guess. We'll see. But yeah. This one's very flexible. This one, it's not the right ring size, right? So you get some wiggle, but time consuming is an understatement. The bigger you got, 15,000 rings a layer. Been pre-closing rings all day. Nice. All right. Yeah. 15,000 rings a layer, dude. That is impressive. We'll set those aside. Now we're going to start. You're thinking of making a small one and then encasing it in resin for a desk weight? Nice. Where are you going? Yeah, so earlier I was talking about these black and stainless rings, and this is the blackened version of that earring that I never... It's not quite the right size. It's a little too small. So now we're going to figure out what else we can do with it. So it only makes a 2-connector Byzantine. I was going to ask you, if you make a small cube and then encase it in resin, right? In order to get the resin all the way through, would you have to like vacuum it through the cube? I would assume that the surface tension of the resin would prevent it from seeping all the way down through the cube. I don't know the answer to that question, and it might be no. Alright, let's see here. What can we make with black and stainless steel? What do we got? It's saw cut. I'm wondering if you can make like elf weave or foreign interwoven 4-in-1, or so if I'm looking at this guitar strap here, and it's strips of a weave called GSG, which is Great Southern Gathering, which is where the weave was made, and it's 2 rows, or it's rows of half Persian 3-in-1 connected vertically instead of making a strip of half Persian 3-in-1. And then it's connected with interwoven 4-in-1 in 3 different places on this guitar strap. Right? It's a cool weave. But this black and stainless steel looks a little too small for that. What are you doing, dude? How you doing? Did you have fun at the neighbors?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, shouldn't need to vacuum it pending how you pour it. The bigger issue is pouring a small layer to set the cube on so it's centered. Yeah. Alright. So the other day when I tried to make elf weave, I was wrapping this little jar, and it was way too loose. These rings were a little large for it. But these rings are a little smaller. Okay, go upstairs. They might make a decent strip of elf weave. We'll see. Oh, man. Go upstairs now. I am.
I was just setting this down.
Set it down. Go upstairs.
Okay.
I love you too, kiddo. Alright. You saw a 6.6 pound roll of filament online today, which you're tempted to get, but it's ever so slightly different from the filament used for the shield that you're working on. So to play it safe, you'll think you keep with the other filament. The next project, you think you'll shoot for the big roll? Yeah, I would play it safe. And the lesson is evident on this stream, as many of these projects were completed because I didn't stick with the what I originally had. I would run out of rings and order more, and then the rings wouldn't match up. So the rolls you've been using are just over 2 pounds. Nice. Yeah, 3D printing is something I want to get into eventually. I just want to have a 3D printer. I just want to have a laser engraver and a Wazer, which is a water jet CNC machine, right? And learn how to use them and learn how to make stuff with them to add flair to my creations. One day. You saw some on OfferUp about 45% off. Were they Ender 3s? What's the one I want called? It's a bamboo something. It's like $1,500, which is not bad. Are you done with the shirt? Did you get all the sleeves issues resolved? They're just kind of waiting for right now. Ender 3s and Ender 3 Pros. We're on. What is OfferUp, a marketplace of some kind? I've never heard of it. I'm old and out of touch and don't understand technology. The future scares me. All right, Wolfpack, have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Stop by anytime, man. Please, before you go, if you are interested in learning more about Chainmail, by all means, go check the link tree in my bio. There's the Mailworks app on both Google and Apple, and it has a bunch of resources for people who are interested in learning more about Chainmail, such as other artists, where to find other people that make chainmail, different ring manufacturers, and where to find tutorials, and much, much more. So check that out if you're interested, and have a wonderful evening. It is getting to be that time. It's 9:55. I'm usually shutting stuff down around 10 o'clock, but I want to see if we can get some elf weave out of this. We'll do and see you again. Thank you. Thank you, man. I do appreciate it for just coming to hang out. You're not done with the shirt, just wanted to change it up for a little bit. OfferUp is like Craigslist, but newer. Oh, okay. Oh. That way. Alright, this is good. The first couple rings of elf weave and of interwoven 4-in-1. I think I mentioned this before. They're a pain in the butt to get started. So I just screw up for the first couple of connections and then go back and fix my mistakes later. I don't have time for all that. Got to get these rings together. And these are really small. Okay. Oh, come on. What the heck? Okay, sorry, A little too focused on this at the moment because I screwed it up. There. That should be better. Alright, we'll just keep going. Alright, what weave is your vest with the dark leather trim? So it's a leather Harley vest with Japanese 12 and 2 over it. All the way around. And that is my riding vest. I wore that from Wisconsin to Colorado for a day. It was a 2-day trip, and my back gave out on the second day. So I try to wear it, more often when I'm riding around here. I can't with this. Come on. There we go. Sorry, I was looking for the next spot to weave this ring, and it was not wanting to work for me. But yeah, it's I got through that ride, and I was able to wear it riding back for the most part. Wasn't too much of an issue, but that first day I wore it, and I got 12 hours of riding in, and then my back said no more about an hour into riding the next day. But I can go out and wear it for like an hour or two around here. It's heavy. It's no joke. So, and that's what inspired me to take apart all my shirts and attach leather to all of them, and not just have a shirt, but have like a functional shirt made that I can just put on without the problems of chainmail, like trying to get it over your head and it catching all your hair and just being a general pain in the butt to utilize. All right. Ooh. I think this elf weave is going to work. So this is very small rings, very difficult to see. But I have an example in a similar ring size within arm's reach. And I will show that to you in just a second. So this, let me get over here. This is a antique bottle I bought in Astoria, Oregon, and it's got an enormous elf weave wrap surrounding the whole thing. Right? See if I can show this on TikTok real quick. I just want you to get a sense of the pattern. It's a sheet weave, meaning you can just make giant sheets of chainmail out of it. Very fun for edges or seams or lots of cool stuff. All right, so that is what I'm making with this blackened stainless steel. And I'll show you that too. It's just I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that with this lighting. See what that looks like. Yeah. Okay, you can kind of see it. Tiny little rings woven together. So that's what I'm working on. And actually, this is... We'll see if I can make this into a sheet. I might not be able to. It might be too small. And then we need to figure out what we're going to do with it. I don't have any bottles to wrap. Suppose I could find one. But The issue is that it's blackened stainless steel. So A, it's not going to stay black for forever. It'll stay black for a good long time, right? But any of the blackened materials are very dirty, right? So you got to clean them off, you know, a little bit just to work with them, right? But then also, they make everything you touch dirty too. All right. Okay, that's set into place. Elf weave and interwoven 4-in-1 and GSG connected by interwoven 4-in-1. Super fun weaves to use for just random sheet weaves. It's like Japanese 12-in-2, European 6-in-1, European 4-in-1. Those are all, there's nothing wrong with those weaves. And they have their moments. Their time to shine. But I find that I use Elf Weave Interwoven 4-in-1 a lot. Alright. Let's see if we can make this into a sheet. This is really small. It's pretty tight, so like a strip of elf weave is all we might be able to do, which I will be really sad about if that is the case. Yeah. But Jeep and Jamboree were asking about the Harley vest. It's that took me forever to finish, several years, right? Because Japanese 12-in-2 is it's a hefty weave. It's not one you mess around with. Alright, come on. Oh, is that even going the right way? No. Fucking. Come on. Do what I need you to do so I can do the thing. I need to do the thing. There. The ring on the end flipped over and I couldn't get it back into place. But now it should stay there. You were just curious, wouldn't even know what to use it on? We might get away with doing this. Alright. Did I speak too soon? Is that ring just in the way? What's going on here? Come on. There we go. It's not like I can threaten the rings to get them to cooperate, right? Yeah, this is feeling pretty tight. I don't know. Alright. Some rings also might be a little more secure once they are fixed into place. Right? Sometimes that helps with like a weave's flexibility. Alright. Okay. Yeah, the Japanese 12 and 2 is just a sheet weave and made of. You can use the same ring size for like your central rings and the rings on the outlying rings. I think that historically Chinese and Japanese chainmail has been much more like this cube where it's one ring with 4 rings in it on not like European 4-in-1, right? In a horizontal vertical orientation, whereas European 4-in-1's like at a 45 degree. All right. Excuse me. So it's just a sheet weave that, you know, you can just do whatever with. Wrap bottles, make armor out of it. I was thinking perhaps I would not use the chainmail that I have already pretty much made down here to do the saddlebags. And that I would order more of the rings that I use to make the vests, right? And that way they would all match. But then I gave it a second thought and said, no, that's dumb. So I'll just use multiple weaves to wrap the tops of the saddlebags and to do the gas tank bib and the tool kit. Okay, so far we've made 2 rows of elf weave. I'll give you a picture of it here in a second. I'll hold it up to the camera here in a second. These are darkened rings and you can't hardly see nothing anyway, so once these rings are fixed into place, it's kind of feeling loose enough to do something with. Not going to be jewelry, right? It was a bad idea to purchase these to try and make earrings out of, but you know, you learn from your mistakes in life. I don't know what's going on with this ring here, but anyway, let's see here. For those on let me zoom in for you here. It's going, I promise. Hold on. There, blackened elf weave. Looks good. We'll see how much we can use this ring size to... Oh. There. Alright, for those of you on TikTok, it's this tiny little thing of metal. And it seems... Fakreje, enjoy your VD. Yeah, I'll enjoy my Veterans Day. Alright. You too, buddy. So that's what we're making here. I'll enjoy my Veterans Day. I don't know what... I'm not really doing anything. I'm just... Probably be downstairs in the basement. Right. You're more interested in learning SS helm sheet for your 8-foot dining room table runner? Yeah, you should definitely make a table runner. I don't know if helm sheet is the best for a table runner, but what do I know? That's a fun weave. Alright. For anyone looking to get plastic surgery in San Antonio, contact Fakreje. He's not a plastic surgeon, but he knows. He knows a few, I believe. Alright. So, I need to find something that this is going to wrap around. Right? I'm not going to make jewelry out of it because it's black and stainless steel. I'm going to add it to something as a decoration. I could spend the money to match the ring size and do like strips of stainless steel. Excuse me. Regular stainless steel, so it'd have black and stainless and then bright stainless, right? But I don't want to spend the money to do that. Mostly because I got other things that I would rather do. So we'll just use up as many of these rings as it takes to wrap something with, I think is what we'll do. If we can, it feels like we can keep going. It's loose enough that I think that we can get several sheets wide and make it more like this this bottle wrap here. I could make a hacky sack out of it. Like match this with a hacky sack out of this. I could. What is the... They're both 20 gauge. I mean, okay, but how many we've made? 1, 2 spheres, right? Just sitting in front of me. I don't know, I want to do something else. I don't know. It makes the ring size works in elf weave. So if I could, you know, find another little bottle, maybe a little larger than this because we have a few more rings. But in the meantime, it is 10:17. So I'm gonna look for something to use this on. All right, let's see here. Let me get this show. No, this way. This way, silly camera. All right. For everyone on TikTok. All right, so my name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. It's a website dedicated to chainmail themed apparel and accessories. And I come on here and I stream most nights lately. Perhaps not every night, but most nights. For a little bit, making small random chainmail items. If you would like to learn more about chainmail, please check out the link tree in my bio and check out the Mailworks app, which is an app I designed just as a bunch of resources for people who are interested in making chainmail and people who are veteran chainmail artists that just want to have a bunch of resources handy. And so go check that out, please. If you like what you see, go check out mailworks.com. Find yourself some chainmail themed apparel or an accessory, and that will help support the show so that we can buy more rings and make more stuff. Right? Everybody, if you're a veteran, thank you for your service. I'm also a veteran. Everybody have a good Veterans Day weekend. I'll probably be back on here tomorrow night. I don't have any plans, but also I don't usually know when I have plans. I get told when I have plans. So I don't know if I'll be back on Saturday, but I'll probably for sure be back on Sunday. All right. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I do appreciate all the support. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. You guys all have a wonderful evening. Bye. There we go. All right, for everybody else on all the, you don't know if you saw your other messages asking if you had a better weave suggestion? No. Oh, okay, let's see here. It's just decoration, nothing crazy going on, but if you can suggest a more visibly pleasing weave. When I think table runner, I think cloth. Right, and I don't know if you've ever... I mean, you've seen helm sheet, right? So, it's not the most flexible weave. You can make a table runner out of it. I don't know how you're going to store it, right? I guess it rolls up pretty good. But there's probably nothing wrong with helm sheet. I'm just like, that wouldn't be the first thing that jumped out to me. Let me see here. The closest thing I have is like Celtic Vision. And it's pretty... Like, I have it wrapped around a bottle. So, that was pretty easy. But anyway, for anyone on YouTube, Facebook, or where else do we stream to from here? Twitch. For any of you on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, you can find the Mailworks app on my website in the app section if you're interested in learning more about chainmail. And let's see here. Please do go to mailworks.com and find yourself some chainmail themed apparel or an accessory. And I am going to get out of here, and I will talk to you all later. You all have a wonderful Veterans Day weekend. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you later. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.